Welcome to Ram Chowder. My name is Brian Andrew. I am here with Lex Torres. The NFL first round of the NFL draft's first round just ended,
Mhm.
and the Rams with the 13th overall pick selected Ty Simpson from the University of Alabama, quarterback. Do you want to go first, or should I go first?
So, you could probably hear it for our audio listeners, but for our visual listeners, Brian is ready to just combust. And you know what? I wanna give you the lead off on this one. Brian, 13th pick, Ty Simpson. What are your thoughts?
So let me put this in perspective. So I work till about 6 o'clock p.m.
Hmm.
and I have a long commute home.
Hmm.
So I did the
How long
math.
is the commute, by the way? Like hour,
Hour and a half,
hour and
almost
a half.
almost 2 hours if it depends on traffic.
Gosh.
So the NFL draft started at 5,
Hmm.
and I did the math and I was like, I'll probably be able. So I work in North San Diego County. I live in Orange County.
Hmm.
There's the Camp Pendleton Gap where
There's a drive. Yep.
you can't pull over anywhere. You can't do so. I did the math and I was like, I think if I could pull off before I have to get on the 5,
Hmm.
I could probably just go to like a parking lot real quick, see the Ram selection. Took my eye a while to to refocus there.
Uh,
For our audio listeners, I scratched my eye and it took me a minute to.
yeah, that was confusing. I got worried.
So I'm following the draft. I see the Kansas City trade up, right? And I'm
Mhm.
watching ESPN's best available, right? And it's Makai Lemon. Once Cardell Tate went off the board, it was Makai Lemon's the second best wide receiver on the board. But there was always the Tyson stuff, and then I think the Saints drafted Tyson.
Mhm.
And I'm doing the math, and I'm like, okay, I think Lemon might be there. And I've even talked myself into being like, okay, even if they don't pick Lemon and they decide to go with Ruben Bain Jr. from
Yeah.
Miami, an edge rusher, you can't have too many edge rushers. Or they went with Sadiq from Oregon, the tight end, the more hybrid tight end wide receiver guy.
Mhm.
I could have talked myself into being disappointed that they didn't take Lemon,
Mhm.
but they got a really good player because, as far as I know, we are in the Matthew Stafford window and we're trying to optimize this window.
Mhm.
Keep in mind, this is the equivalent of having like an NBA lottery pick. This is we got the Falcons had a bad season. We had the Falcons pick.
Mhm.
We traded our other first round pick. We got McDuffie, right? Because we're in a window.
Mhm.
So I'm going to preface this with the Rams are smarter than me. They see something in Ty Simpson from Alabama. Uh, he could turn out to be a great quarterback. And sometimes that happens in the NFL draft where it's not necessarily the guy who goes one overall. It's the second or third quarterback taken.
Mhm.
Uh, but we passed on Lemon, Sadiq, Bain, other maybe an offensive lineman. We passed on a cornerback, a DB, and we went with Ty Simpson, who not too long ago was projected to go in the second round. Could fall to the first,
Mhm.
but there really was not a market. This was not a QB heavy class,
Yeah.
and I feel the Rams wasted a pick. Like I get looking past the Stafford era, maybe Stafford's like, "Hey, I'm only going to do 1 year." If that
Mhm.
was the case, I'm going to be honest with you. I would be excited with the idea that the Rams have to figure something out next offseason, whether it's go get a free agent, go trade for someone, maybe draft someone in next year's class. I understand we don't have a lot of first round picks. We try to trade them, F them picks. Well, this was the definition of F them picks because
Yeah.
I would have rather they trade down And if they
Hmm.
really wanted Ty Simpson, and I don't know if there's another team out there that would have been, and I'll be honest with you, if I was the Rams, I would have traded down. If you weren't going to take Lemon, Sadiq, if you weren't going to take Ruben Bain Jr., you weren't going to take some of these other players,
Hmm.
trade down. And if someone takes Ty Simpson, who cares? There's a million there's a million Ty Simpsons out there, you know? And I was pissed. I pulled over to
There he
watch the
is.
Rams pick. I saw the Cowboys trade up, who've been rumored that they were interested in adding to their offensive side of the field. I saw
Hmm.
the Chiefs trade up, and I was like, oh, I know the Chiefs were working with Mekhi Lemon.
Yeah.
And then I felt that feeling in my stomach of like the Rams might really take Mekhi Lemon.
Hmm.
And this is not even about Mekhi Lemon. It's more so that they wasted the pick. But I will take a moment as a USC Rams fan and be like, I was prepared to buy the Mekhi Lemon jersey in all those new colors that we have,
Yeah.
those alternate jerseys that we're gonna get in the summer. It
Uh,
would have been really cool to see Mekhi Lemon's career continue in LA. And I will say this, there's every possibility that the Ty Simpson thing just does not work out. And we're trying to maximize this window. Mekhi Lemon, Ruben Bain Jr., Sadiq, even if we got an offensive lineman, because there's always an injury on the offensive line,
hmm.
we would have picked somebody that would have contributed this year to Matthew Stafford's window.
Yes.
You know how Ty Simpson would contribute to Matthew Stafford's window if he got hurt.
Hmm.
And then now we have Ty Simpson. Sean McVay is saying that Ty Simpson is going to compete with Stetson. I'm sure Stetson's not making the team.
Yeah.
I would still prefer if the Rams went out there and maybe gave like Russell Wilson a 1 year contract or something. Like,
Hmm.
if we're really taking this Matthew Stafford window seriously, I just, it's just the whole thing. And I think I'm being a little bit more level headed than I am because I had a long time to think about this on the way
Yes.
home.
Yes.
And I was legit pissed because, like I said, the Rams could have just been like, you know what, we don't, Lemon's great and all, but we're gonna go with Sadiq. Ah, Lemon's great and all, we're gonna get this other player, and I would have been probably like, okay, I could see the vision.
Hmm.
But this is the Rams trying to win in the 2026 window by picking a player that they're probably not going to use till 2027, 2028.
Yeah.
And you could have drafted a Lemon, a Sadiq, somebody else. You could even stretch and went and got like your fifth wide receiver on the board
Yeah.
if you wanted to. And that player would probably still contribute this year. So A, you now need to go either sign or in day two, go get the wide receiver.
Hmm.
But Lemon and these other first round wide receivers were probably going to be like, these are starters. They're going to
Yeah.
make money. They would slot in into the starting lineup. If you're doing 12 personnel, maybe not, but
Hmm.
they would have slotted in and they would have contributed this season.
Hmm.
Now it's Xavier Smith, Whittingham, uh, Mumfield.
Hmm.
It's just like, okay, are they gonna go get like Tyreek Hill maybe? Are they gonna draft someone tomorrow? I don't know. But this was such a wasted pick. And it's frustrating. They did the exact opposite of what I wanted them to do. There was, I want you to get Lemon for my own personal reasons. Maybe he
Yeah.
wouldn't be the best fit. Maybe he would actually have the worst career. Maybe he would have looked like a first round bust. Wouldn't care. When it bought the jersey, would have supported the pick anyways.
Yeah.
Then there's that middle ground of pick someone really good who's going to contribute this season, or go get Ty Simpson. And to be honest, I'm not even like Ty Simpson threw 57% in the most important games of the season last season.
Hmm.
He has some legs. He could get you a first down. He's a little elusive. Uh, he lacks the arm strength slightly. It's just like you. It's one of those things too where it's like you're looking for the successor of Matthew Stafford. You could probably have found better.
Yeah.
take a shot on somebody else. Give one of these first round busts in the last few drafts a second chance or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'll let you have some thoughts. I,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
sorry.
The beast has been unleashed. Yeah, I was excited for Brian's opinions on these on today's events, right? And yeah, so I guess my initial thoughts when I first saw the pick, I was kind of in transition. Thursdays are my busy days. I have like a lot of driving to do, um, kind of like school to school, and the way I found out was through the official graphic, right? With a 13 pick, um, the Rams draft Ty Simpson, and so I saw the graphic, and I was confused. I was actually confused at first, because I think multiple episodes ago, you and I actually talked about the possibility of should the Rams use their first round draft pick, right? Like not only I think at that time we were kind of almost like debating like should they trade it away, should they keep it? And I brought up this weird, silly scenario, right? Of like this long shot scenario of like, oh, if the Rams keep it, should they use it on a QB? And so it feels weird that like the almost like the decision that probably wasn't going to happen ended up happening. And so I think again multiple episodes ago this had to have been like at the very start of the free agency. Um like you know I don't remember if I had like positive connotations or negative connotations about the idea of picking up a quarterback, um but yeah, my initial reaction is confusion. Um and I also read somewhere that Sean McVay wasn't, 100% on board with this pick as well. And so,
If you look at his
um,
press conference, he doesn't look stoked.
yeah,
He could be tired. It
yeah,
was a long day. He had to probably talk to Les Snead about plenty of better options, and then both of them settle for this pick. So I don't. I,
yeah.
and
You
it, and,
almost
it,
looked there.
and yeah, and to make and then you triggered something in my brain right now, because for weeks I was like, I don't want the Rams to trade this pick. I don't want the Rams to trade this pick. But
Yep.
now with Monkey Paw, the Rams didn't trade the pick, and we could have maybe been back in the mix for AJ Brown. We could have got Max Crosby. We could have got somebody else.
Yeah.
Use the first round pick on whoever. Go get Joe Burrow and let him back up Matthew Stafford for a year. Like go figure this out. Like and it's the monkey paw thing, because I was always under the idea that Makai Lemon might be there at 13. Don't trade the pick. The Rams would take Makai Lemon. They need he would be the best receiver on the board. Of course they would do that.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, no, just trade it. If you're gonna waste the pick, waste the pick. F them picks. Waste the pick, then trade it. You obviously didn't want the pick in the first place. I'm not I'm not doing a Rams podcast. I'm not doing a Rams podcast to glaze on the Rams.
Yeah.
This is for me to get my emotions out. This was
Yeah. Yeah.
this was they came out with new uniforms last week. It was important, and the Rams could easily let this go. They could go win a Super Bowl next year, you know, and it will be fine. Ty Simpson
Uh-huh.
might not have anything to do with it. You know, I would love, and almost it's one of those things too. Whether Matthew Stafford goes down in the playoffs,
Mhm.
and then your 13th pick gets to lead the Rams to Super Bowl, I'll shut up. I'll shut up if he makes it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But oh man, Hmm. And I have a thing too, because people I think glaze over SEC quarterbacks, thinking like, well, they're playing pro level players. Like half their conference is not as good as people think it is,
Nice.
and it's a run heavy conference.
Mhm.
If you want to see QB play, it would be like in the old Pac-12, the Big Ten, the Big 12. That's where I think you get better QB play. Fernando Mendoza, for example, played in both the old Pac-12, plays in the Big Ten.
Mhm.
Um, I'm gonna say this right now, and the way the Rams could save this for me in day two, because
Okay.
he's gonna be a day two pick. There
Uh-huh.
was a 1B on the USC receiving core named Jacoby Lane.
Oh,
If the Rams get Jacoby Lane, now I might have to wait to get that jersey because a day two pick might not have his number right away, and he has to wait for some
yeah,
roster cuts. So I might have to wait till like the second week of the season next season or something. But
yeah.
I
Hey,
don't know. I don't know. You know, no. I'm not getting my hopes up. The
no,
Rams had the
no.
Rams had a freaking softball.
A layup. Yep.
They had a layup, an underhand pass. It was, and they swung and missed. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't. Ty Simpson could be really good,
Mhm.
but you know
Like
what?
this could be easily like you like I see what you're saying. Like this could easily like we can easily be disproven, right?
And that's
But
fine. But this he's not helping this 2026 window.
yeah, I totally hear that.
And if we're looking at this window as them going all in,
Hmm.
then eventually they're not going to be all in. They're going to trade off some of these corners that they're going to allot $50 million to. They're going to get rid of some of these players that they're paying a lot of money to. And Ty
Hmm.
Simpson's going to be left with whoever's left. And you're going to really have, honestly, Ty Simpson, the way the NFL works now, too, you have like even if you're a first round pick, you have like a bad 8 games or so, they'll replace you next season.
Hmm.
So we'll see. The Rams know more than me, but I wouldn't have done this here.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I'm not a GM. If that was my job, I would have been at the draft party today,
Mhm.
talking to Sean McVay about like, hey man, who would you like here? And Sean McVay would have been like, probably anybody else. and and yeah, but I don't know. I trust Sean McVay to develop him. The
Mhm.
Rams could still be really good if he's just above average. You know, he
Mhm.
doesn't have to be a Matthew Stafford reincarnate. You know, it's just.
Yeah.
But you don't seem as frustrated with me as I do. But
Yeah, yeah. No, no.
but
You know,
like
it's funny. I think I'm definitely soaking in all the frustration. Just knowing Brian for forever. You know, passionate Brian is one of my favorite Brians, and uh, and yeah, it's. I think I was struck with confusion, and I can totally understand why your reaction is kind of like, dude, what the hell? You know, like kind of like that type of frustration.
The
I see it.
Rams, year after year
Yeah.
after year, and especially in the NFL draft, just tend to just do things that I hate. They just tend to do things I hate, and it's fine. You know, when they had the really bad season,
Hmm.
and I knew Caleb was on the horizon, I was like, the Rams should just tank for Caleb,
Yeah, yeah.
tank for Caleb, and then they started winning. I was like, ah, damn it.
Oh, I remember that.
And then it turns out maybe it was the best decision because Matthew Stafford beat Caleb in the playoffs, sure. But it's just I don't know. I feel like I'm keeping it low key, like quiet, because I have a son sleeping in the other room. I have to be relatively chill. But yeah,
You're trying to be better Brian right now.
do you have any thoughts? I feel like I basically asked you to come on so I could talk for 95% of this podcast.
You know what? This was necessary. This, um, so Brian and I, for our listeners and our viewers, we tend to enjoy a nice little pre-chat, right? And uh, and you know, 50% of this pre-chat is just kind of like, oh yeah, just getting our general points in order, right? What bullet points we want to hit, and honestly, the other 50% is just kind of catching up on life and stuff like that, right? Just small talk. I can honestly tell y'all the pre-chat lasted 10 seconds and it was the only question I got to ask was what are your thoughts? And then I received the thoughts and we pressed record and it was a beautiful thing. And so and so one thing I did want to do um is probably play the quickest segment game ever. And if I know Brian, I think I know exactly what type of answer to expect, but I want to ask you.
Okay.
Um, so I know you were pushing, you were big on Makai Lemon, right? Leading in, and again, I think I could guess the reaction here, the response. But Rams picked at number 13. Um, let's play the quickest game ever. Who would you have picked instead of Ty Simpson after 13? So out of all the people who were available after we picked Ty Simpson, who would you have rather picked?
Probably everybody else. Let's see.
Yes. I I get you probably saw that, but I was like, oh, here's the softball, and oof, that was the home run, Ryan. That was
But
a home run.
okay, let's see here. Let's see here. Kenyon Sadiq, Ruben
Okay.
Bain, Blake Miller, offensive tackle. Monroe Freeling, offensive tackle. Mekhi
Mhm.
Lemon got drafted by the Eagles. So basically, not only did my guy not get drafted by the Rams, he goes to an NFC rival who has a quarterback who's gonna make a bunch of ass touchdowns all season and not throw to my guy. So my guy's maybe he'll have a poor career there and then come to the Rams on a cheap deal later.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Casey Concepcion from Texas A&M would have probably rather have
Okay.
had him. If the Rams reached and went him instead, I would have been frustrated. I would have been like, why do that when you have Mekhi Lemon there? But I wouldn't
Ooh.
be on the podcast ranting. I probably would have been like, hey, KC was actually a really good wide receiver. Let's talk about how this makes the Rams better, who are trying to win in the 2026 Matthew Stafford window.
Yes.
Mixed messages. Chris Johnson, cornerback from San Diego State.
Mhm.
If you guys want a hot take, I think he will be one of the best DBs to come out of this draft.
Ooh.
And the Seahawks, I'll admit, probably had a better pick than us. They got Jadarian Price, the running back, the backup running back behind Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
And for weeks, and sorry, we're gonna go because I know we didn't have a lot of time today. The Rams were like, are the Rams going to trade down and get Ty Simpson? Are the Rams
Mhm.
going to trade down and get Ty Simpson? Are they going to trade up and get Jeremiah Love? And this whole time I was like, nah, please just stay at 13.
Yeah.
Monkey paw again. They stayed at 13 and still picked Ty
And
Simpson.
still got him.
Like you
Yeah.
probably could have traded down like 4 or 5 picks. And then if someone picked, like I said, if someone picked Ty Simpson, they made a decision for you and you didn't.
Yeah.
You had to make the bad call.
Yeah.
You could have went uh 3 rounds later and got a quarterback. If you want to if you want to waste a pick later in the draft on like Diego Pavia. If you want to waste a pick, get the LSU quarterback. His name's slipping my mind right now. Like
Yeah.
there was options,
Yeah.
and like if you're just gonna get a backup quarterback, just get a backup quarterback somewhere else. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh. I
because
love it. And
because now remember just a couple weeks ago. Sorry,
yeah,
a
yeah.
couple
You're
weeks
good. You're
ago. A
good.
couple weeks ago
No,
we
you
were
need this. You need this. I respect it.
a couple weeks ago we were like Kirk Cousins. Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins. If Matthew Stafford got hurt, had to miss a game, Kirk Cousins could go win a game. He could go lead a team to the Super Bowl if they had to in the
Yeah.
playoffs. They
You
have
can
all
lean
the
on him.
weapons. Yeah. Ty Simpson's gonna get the ball now. Ty Simpson. Out of all the options available, Ty Simpson's gonna get the ball now.
Yeah.
And you know what? He could impress, I'm sure. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm
Yeah.
defeated, man.
Oh no.
The Rams
Yeah.
always find a way to defeat me, man. The Rams
Oh
are
man.
undefeated. They're a really good team. The Rams are a really good team. They find a way to defeat me every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Oh
right.
man.
Do you have any thoughts? You want to promote something?
No, yeah, just final thoughts. For our viewers and listeners, um, we picked at 13, and the question was, who would Brian rather have picked? And from 13 to 32, I think Brian listed and named half of the names. And so I love it. I love it. Gotta love it.
There's some names
Uh,
that are probably still available in the second round right now that I probably still would have picked. I'm not even looking right now. Let me take a quick look
yeah,
at this real quick. Just I know you have to go.
yeah. On who's left on the board for
Denzel
tomorrow.
Boston. Why not? Why don't the Rams just trade down and take Denzel Boston and Jacoby
Absolutely.
Lane? Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll be back to recap the rest of the draft. Hopefully
Yeah.
it's better. I don't have the picks in front of me, but I believe the Rams have 2 third round picks, some sevens, a six. They do not have any fours or fives.
Mhm.
I believe the Rams have a second round pick, which
They do.
kind
Yeah. I think I have the list.
Yep, at the
Right.
29th, the 61st pick. So
Gotcha.
that is Jacoby Lane territory. Wants to, if everyone wants to take me up on that.
Yeah.
Let me see here also. When is their third round pick? It is. Do they have?
93.
Yeah, it's pretty late back there, huh? They have
Hmm.
two late threes. They had two threes, I thought.
How about them sevens?
I thought they had two threes.
I guess just one three.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm full of shit then. All right. On that
Okay.
note, you guys can be doing anything with your time, but the Rams drafted Ty Simpson. Uh,
Yeah. Oh
uh,
God.
we're out.
Hilarious. Oh, I love it.